All right, we'll go ahead and get started. If you have a question for Mike Petersen, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Spencer Nussbaum, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the first win. I'm going to try to sneak two questions in here.
You're a sneaky dude. You're a sneaky dude, Spencer.
I try my best. Can you just give us your overall thoughts on the game and how important is the three-pointer to your team's success?
Well, it's huge. Well, I'll do the first question first, right? Winning's better than losing, and I told the team afterwards, we played in little stretches against Connecticut and Chicago where it looked right, you know what I mean? But we had a lot of stretches where it didn't. Tonight, we had more stretches where it looked right. And so it's important. It's also important for players to get positive feedback. I mean, as a coach, you can preach and preach and preach the way you want things done. But if you don't get the reward of a win, it's hard and it's natural. And it's not not criticizing, but it's just, so a win, really helps reinforce that if we do the things we want to do, we're going to have some success. And then the three-point shot, yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's modern basketball, right? And are we going to shoot 50% every night? No. But I knew when we didn't make any the first night, right? Basketball is a game of large numbers. If you start changing things based on one game, you're going to lose your mind. You'll drive yourself crazy. So if you're getting good shots, you got to get good shots. And frankly, Strick was just enormous off the bench. I mean, I didn't get her in the first half, and she didn't play at all the last game. And I talked to her coming out of halftime, and I said, Strick, we're going to need you this half. I'm going to play you at the 4. We've got to get a matchup we like, and then you're going in. And when you do, just do what you do. And she was maybe the best human you've ever met. Okay. When I was telling her I was sorry I didn't get her in the first half, she's like, Coach Mike, don't worry. I'm good. I just want to win. I'll do anything. I mean, a lot of players with her experience and her resume that hadn't played 3 halves in a row would be pretty salty. And she just wasn't. And her threes were huge, obviously.
Rafiq Lewison, go ahead.
I want to look back at the clutch defensive stop. You guys were so scrappy on the defense. How do you plan to keep that up in the next couple of games?
Who we are. Has to be who we are every night. Okay. If that's not who we are, we got problems, right? When we didn't get pressure, when we weren't disruptive, I mean, they're enormous. Okay. And when we didn't get pressure, we had problems, okay? And we got a little loose. They got some back cuts and some drives with no help. But some of that's going to happen when you're playing as hard and as frantically as we are. So, how are you going to sustain that? We're going to sustain it because that's who we are, okay? I told them we're just all gas and no brakes. And that's how we have to play. And if we play that way, we can be pretty good. We still got a really long ways to go. Our synergy together and our chemistry with one another in terms of understanding how to play together, we're still light years away from having that right. But if our energy is right, we'll have a chance.
Spencer, we'll go back to you for a follow-up. That'll be the last question.
Yeah, I noticed you went pretty small in the final minute of the game. Can you just talk about the decision to have 4 guards out there at once and why you think that was the right decision for your team?
Well, two things. A, get extra ball handlers. Well, a bunch of things, not just 2 things. That's my fault. Okay, so get extra ball handlers on the floor because you got to have good ball security. And we were great tonight with the ball. I mean, we only have 5 turnovers. That's hard to do. 5? I mean, that's really hard to do. Okay, so get the extra ball handlers. And then at that point, we had enough of a working margin that as long as we didn't give up threes, we were probably going to be okay. So we wanted to be able to shove up a little bit and switch some screens. The 1 3 they got on the side OB there late was just a miscommunication on a switch is all that was. So it was the best defensive lineup, I thought, to take away threes. I thought it was a good ball handling lineup. It had pretty good free throw shooters in it, so it was just very situational. We're going to be that way though. I mean, we're going to be, who gave us good minutes tonight? Kalani Brown, right? She hadn't played this year yet, but because of the matchups, Kalani, she helped her team tonight. She got in there and banged and scored around the rim and was a force, right? So, we're going to have situational lineups. And that's another thing, just has to develop over time. And it will. These players are very willing and they like each other and they play hard and they put up with me. So we'll be okay.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. We've got Shekinna Stricklen here. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll call on you. Spencer Nussbaum, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Mr. Congrats on the win and on the fantastic play in the final stretch of the game. Can you just talk about your overall thoughts and, how your knee is feeling, since I know that was giving you some trouble earlier?
Well, it feels good to get a win, especially on the road. Oh man, I wasn't really sure, wasn't expecting really to play. And I just heard my name called, in this league, been in it for 10 years now. You just always got to be ready, stay ready. It's been frustrating. Started the season, my knee, been dealing with a lot of swelling and my knee pain, and but it's getting a lot better. And just hearing my name called tonight, do whatever I can to help my teammates, and being able to go in and knock down 3 threes. It felt really good.
Rafiq Lewison, go ahead.
What are your impressions of some of the scrappy defense you guys played in the closing seconds of today's win?
I think it was big. We stayed to our scouting report. Our trapping defense, our aggressive defense, I think that's going to be us all season. And I think that's what we really need. We got to get turnovers and we got to get out and go. So we got to keep being aggressive, trapping, and keep being aggressive on the ball, pressure. And I think that's really going to be how we really control the games.
Spencer Nussbaum, we'll go back to you for the last question. Go ahead.
Yeah, just finishing things up. Can you talk about what your spacing does for the other, for the guards in the rotation, since it's not just the actual shot, but I think the threat of the shot really opens things up?
Oh man, me hitting them threes today, it made them switch, and then when they switched with me, that put a post on our quick guards, and then we just started doing that. Screen, they had to switch, and we got easy layups. So that's a big matchup. If they're gonna switch, that's so easy for our quick guards to get to the basket. If they don't, then I have the shot. So I think that's gonna be really hard.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
All right. We've got Tiffany Hayes here. If you have a question for her, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll call on you. Spencer Nussbaum, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Congrats on the win. Can you talk about just your overall thoughts on the game and how you're feeling after maybe a not ideal first contest last time out?
I feel good about the game. We won, and it was a team effort. Everybody came in and did their part. Kudos to Strick. She came straight in, knocked down 2 threes. She was ready. Like I said, the bench players came in and gave us the energy that we needed when we needed it. So I'm happy about that. And then as far as me, I'm still getting going. I just got back, so it's going to take me some time. I felt like I had a really good first half, and then got slowed down by a couple foul calls. But my overall game, I think I played really well. My defense was really good. So I'm happy. I'm happy we got the win.
Rafiq Lewison, go ahead.
When you guys blew a 7-point lead, what did the coach talk to you about that led to you guys being able to capture a lead and hold off Indiana with the scrappy defense?
It was just things we were doing. I think it was all of us. It was just like we were running the wrong play, or we were in the wrong position, or things like that. I think we always take away from ourselves. It's never anything. Well, it hasn't been yet that I've seen that a team is doing that really frustrates us. It's always us doing it to ourselves. So that's something we got to work on.
Any last questions for Tip? Spencer, we'll go back to you for a follow-up, and that'll be the last one.
Yeah, just real quick. If you were to pick one takeaway from this game that really stands out for you, in terms of something that you guys still need to improve on moving forward, what would you say it is?
Just that focus when we really need to run a play, and I mean throughout the whole game, just knowing the plays, knowing every position, knowing where you need to be at what time, knowing how to set what screen, things like that. I think we really need to work on that a lot more, because there is just taking away free possessions from us and creating turnovers or creating bad shots. So once we smooth that out, I think we will be a much better team.
All right, thanks, Tip.
I'm out.